Yeah, I think it gets so easy, particularly I think for those of us who work in the news media, work around politics and opinion, to lose sight of what it is we and our neighbors and our friends are fighting for. It becomes very good to get so blinded, that we, it's I've got to bash the other party today. I've got to bash. Well, why? What are you hoping to achieve by going after this bad policy? We don't exist to have more R's or D's. We exist because we want to do something with our lives.
Exactly.
That's why we're supposed to be in this fight.
Preserve the Constitution. I'm glad you brought it up that way, because I've been finding myself being just as hard on Republicans as I am on socialists, on the Socialist Democrat Party. Because if you are an enemy of liberty and freedom, and this is an axiom that the Salcedo Show came up with, and I'll carry it in the Salcedo Storm podcast. If you're out there proposing policies, the only policy I believe that's worth doing is if it increases the liberty and freedom of everybody in the United States.
Right.
And if it doesn't, then it ain't worth doing.
Right.
And how many times have Republicans signed on to initiatives that pick winners and losers, that don't benefit everybody's freedom, everybody's liberty? So I think now more than ever, and I'm going to credit the podcast for this, I'm seeing things more and more not from a partisan point of view, but an ideological point of view, which states I have an ideology, and it's a one that says as a man I want to remain free, I want to remain prosperous, and I want my children to remain so.
Right.
And if that labels me a Republican, which I think the jury's still out this day on this current batch of Republicans, fine. If somebody wants to call that a Democrat value, I'm okay with that.
Right.
If we can find a Democrat who will champion those causes.
Yeah, there's this sense for me in a lot of cases that the establishment, the cronies, the insiders, whatever you want to call them, they very much have a vested interest in getting all of us as citizens, and we the people are supposed to be in charge. Right. But they have very much a vested interest in all of us putting on either an elephant jersey or a Democrat jersey, and fighting about which, how many jerseys are left on the field at the end of the day. They have a vested interest, when in fact our job as citizens is less about elephants and donkeys than helping each other see the value of liberty, to see the value of freedom, the value of being able to provide for ourselves and our families. The folks who want to take really don't want your listeners, my neighbors, the people we go to church with. They don't want people asking those kind of questions.
And they don't want us talking.
Yeah, they don't want us talking. They really want us arguing, R versus D instead of the principles that should undergird our
This should
society.
unite us all.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know what? I think you've hit on something. If we're at each other's throats, nobody's paying attention to what the lawmakers are doing. And I think that's the way they like it.